What is up, homies? Welcome back to another reaction from Heroes Reforged. Today we are starting Moon Knight, the brand new series from Marvel Studios on Disney+. If you want to see the uncut reactions for this series, check it out on patreon.com/heroesreforged. The links are down in the descriptions below. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already. This is going to be a series for the next 6 weeks. And then next month we will be starting Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then there's plenty more Marvel stuff coming for the rest of the year. This is the first Marvel Studios show of the year. Which is crazy.
Oh my god!
I feel like I haven't seen you guys in 2 months, so
Yeah. I'm extremely excited. I've seen the first 4, but the 4th episode that I watched was sort of unfinished. So I think that when we rewatch it, it'll be kind of like new.
All right, you guys ready? Here we go.
Are those huaraches? Are we starting off strong with huaraches?
I am unsettled.
Already?
Yeah.
This looks like some kind of magical enchantment.
Gotta evenly distribute that glass.
Don't want your mom to hit you with those chanclas. Oh no. He's a masochist.
Tap it, make sure it goes all the way.
Ooh. Ooh. Good sound design in that scene.
Yeah.
It's crunchy.
Making me
He's like,
nauseous.
I'm a cowboy. Womp, womp, womp.
Very casual song for such torture. Wow. Okay, here's Papa. Here's Papa Hector.
Papacito Oscar.
I do that to myself too.
Are you sure this is Moon Knight and not Wolfman?
Funnily enough, the character of Moon Knight did appear first in a comic book called Werewolf by Night. So he puts the tape there to make sure it's not opened.
Yep.
And only the worthiest would be allowed to pass through the field of reeds.
And did it suck for you? Getting rejected from the field of reeds?
I'm not dead, am I?
Well, that's a bit of foreshadowing, isn't it? Oh, my accent is horrible.
My neck's towards you, but just checking. We still on for 7 tomorrow?
He doesn't even remember, does he?
7 tomorrow.
Best steak in town?
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Are you asking me out? So you know that girl I was telling you about, the one from work? We're going on a date tomorrow. Sorry.
Could you take a picture of us?
Yeah, sure. 1, 2, 3.
This is very sad that this is his friend.
This motherfucker doesn't cook, but he has a sieve for the sand. Okay.
Tracking any footsteps. That's got to be exhausting.
Well, he probably also, like, maybe he got off of work late, you know.
Hello. Reading. Was there an exact chapter you'd like to be a part of?
Ugh.
Just remember.
This is giving me anxiety. Yep. Is his jaw busted? Oh my god. Oh. Aye.
Ooh.
Go back to sleep, worm.
Hello? Hello?
What's he doing?
Jesus.
Is that anywhere near London where he is right now?
I think
was actually
he's in
gonna
a
say
completely different country.
Yeah, I was gonna actually say that it looks like could be like Austria or Switzerland.
Yeah, I think it looks like Switzerland to me.
Is this a dream? Is this real? What the heck's going on, fellas?
This is the face of a good man.
Not sure if I like any of what's going on right now.
Will you accept your scales regardless of the outcome?
Yes.
It says the filming locations are in Budapest, Hungary.
Oh,
Some of it.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Rejected.
I've been good my entire life.
Oh, that's a lie, sister.
It's a lie, Steven.
But the scales see everything. Perhaps it's something that lies ahead.
Oh man, he's like a precog.
Whoa.
Yet Amit has decided.
If I was that old lady, I'd be like, I'm gonna have to head out of here because
I'm gonna go to the store real quick. Anybody
Yeah.
want some chips?
Problem with the exchange.
We got ambushed. Someone killed 2 of our men.
Eh.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, bullocks.
My name's Stephen Grant. I'm trying to get back home,
Can
back
you
to
hear the
London.
crunchy glass?
Yeah.
London.
London.
Oh, you mean
You will give him nothing.
here? So strange. Sorry, but
I will not ask again.
I didn't do that on purpose.
No, the idiot's backs.
Oh God.
Sorry. Oh, oh God.
Oh.
I love at
he
the
driving
exact moment
backwards
where he
there?
actually needs to do something, it switches
Yes.
bodies.
Yeah.
Or switches personalities.
Did he just throw the gun?
Oh my god.
You just got Final Destinationed. How are you even sure what day it is at this point?
The date could have been 5 days ago.
Yeah. My boy's looking rough.
Yep.
Yes.
You mean like a knob?
I ate steak by myself, thanks. 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't change the fact that today is Sunday, which means lose my number. Cheers.
Oof.
I mean, I would try to reach back out to Dylan, was the woman's name, and being like, there's something going on with me. I'm so sorry. I thought it was Friday today. So that wasn't no dream. He was really in Switzerland or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a lot of travel time.
I'll have a
Yeah.
steak, please.
Sure.
Aw.
What cut would you
Get
like?
you a steak, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Aw.
I'll have the best bit of the.
One I can't afford. Give me that one.
Oscar Isaac is such a good actor. Look at
How'd you
him.
like that? Good. Yeah, very good. Very good.
Stupid dummy.
I'm so anxious for him right now.
I know, dude.
Well done.
He's losing it. He's losing it.
Well
He's
done.
losing it.
Yeah, I think you'd love her. Yeah, she's got a great sense of humor. So, anyway, I'll tell you more about it tomorrow.
His mom's been dead for a long time, hasn't she?
Yeah, there's
I just
nobody
want
on
to say,
that
like,
line.
if you thought the most pathetic Marvel hero with the saddest life was Peter Parker, Moon Knight is like, hold my beer.
Uh-oh.
A clue.
I had some rough, sexy time.
Mm.
And I scratched the floor.
The table was moved. This
That
wood
table
panel
has
was
been bad.
accessed.
It's a message from Nick Fury.
Oh god, I remember that phone.
Layla. Duchamp. That's a comic book reference. In the comics, Moon Knight's
Duchamp?
pilot was a guy named Frenchie Duchamp. Sean Duchamp.
I just found this phone in my flat, and I'm just trying to figure out whose it is.
What is with this accent?
What?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think I am?
What do you mean who? What's wrong with you, Mark?
What did you just call me?
Give the body back to Mark.
Stephen. Stephen.
Oh, that sounded like Oscar Isaac.
I thought it was Poe Dameron. This is going to be his Willem Dafoe, Norman Osborn moment where he talks to himself in a mirror.
Uh-oh.
That would scare the
No
shit out of me.
mames, man. That's mirrors in the night? No, come on.
You chicken shits.
Look, Steven.
No. No,
Man, I saw a
mirror-
ghost in real life.
Look, it was looking back at him.
Reflection's not moving, man.
Yeah. My voice got really high all of a sudden.
Yeah.
How did we get out of this flat?
Oh, yeah.
Steven, you better get out!
Okay, we saw this in the trailers, right?
That's cool.
Oh no! Oh no! 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 No!
Have his Ray moment.
Day and night.
Nope. I would just.
Steven!
I would just.
Let's go.
My life force would just leave my body.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nope. Nope. Don't like that.
It's just an old lady.
Are we back on the 5th floor?
Yes, the 5th. My friend Claire lives here. I'm visiting her.
Smart lady. Smart lady. Took him out of his damn body.
Nope. Not even in the slightest.
I love the sort of theme they're giving to this
Oh my God, he's real.
thing that's following him.
This man right here, he's been following me. No, I don't know.
Praise Amit.
Thank you.
Praise Amit.
Had Amit been free, she would have prevented Hitler and the destruction he wrought.
I mean,
The Armenian genocide, Pol Pot.
jeez.
But she was betrayed
Was she?
by indolent fellow gods.
Oh,
By even her own avatar.
avatars. Blue people. Love that film. Anime.
Stephen.
Are you going to kill me?
Anime. I love references to Avatar the movie and Avatar the Last Airbender in one sentence.
Yep.
Is good.
Day and
There's
night.
chaos in you.
Well, is he good or bad? Is he good or bad? I think
chaos.
Steven is good.
Chaos is neutral.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Mm-mm-mm. Good catch, good catch, good catch.
I could save us. But I can't have you fighting me this time. Look at me. You're not gonna die. Let me save us.
Oh.
I liked how like the surrounding tiles in the bathroom had this cool.
Yeah.
Effect.
Hieroglyphic thing.
Yep.
What an intro, man. Okay. Nice.
I like that ending. So I got to interview the director of this episode. The majority of the episodes, I think 4 of them out of the 6, Mohammed Diab, and he's such a cool guy, super cool guy. Has such a love for this character and a love for this show. And I got to talk to Grant Curtis as well, executive producer. One of the questions I asked everybody I could was like, when does this story take place in the MCU timeline? And they told me, you know, Hector, we had an answer.
You should just
when
put that question on a shirt.
Exactly. When does this take place?
Yeah.
And they said, we had an answer when we started the production of the show. We ultimately kind of pulled back from the references to the larger MCU. Because it ended up being more standalone, I think, than how they initially planned it. The ultimate answer is they don't even know if they have a specific answer, but they're just kind of going to give it to the fans for the fans to figure out and for the fans to place, you know, where they want to place it.
Interesting.
Well, I know because the slate shifted so much during COVID.
Yeah.
I have to imagine that the release dates for a lot of this stuff changed quite a bit. It seems like it changed quite a bit. And we saw that obviously with the whole beginning of Phase 4. Like, it was supposed to start with Falcon and Winter Soldier, and it did not start that way at all. And it ultimately made a big difference. And this is actually a question I would love to ask Kevin Feige when it comes to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. How much, because of the pandemic, did the connective threads between WandaVision and Doctor Strange change because of that? Because I would have to imagine that the same thing goes with the shows. You know, like Miss Marvel was supposed to come out late last year, and it's not coming out now till June. So like when those things happen, how do those changes kind of affect the storylines, if at all? Like they were telling you, do you end up just kind of pulling back and going like, well, it's just going to kind of be its own thing, and you know, we'll kind of leave it up open to interpretation with where it could potentially take place? Because if it doesn't have anything to kind of do with the greater MCU in terms of the events of what happened, then I don't personally care where it takes place. Like if it's a Phase 4 thing, it's very likely going to take place somewhere within, you know, the boundaries of Phase 4.
Knowing that information and rewatching this episode with you guys, there's a moment where Ethan Hawke's character, Arthur Harrow, says, if Amet was awakened, she would have stopped Hitler. She would have stopped this Pol Pot. And I'm like, I bet you he even said Thanos. And maybe they even took that line away. I can understand the struggle that Marvel Studios has right now, where they're like, they don't want everything to be so dependent on you having seen everything else. They really do want some stuff to be entry level. And for the diehard fans, I think that they've already figured out this is obviously post Thanos blip. It's post Avengers Endgame. There's one background detail that's on a bus that we'll see that references the organization that was like helping relocate people that was featured in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Remember that worldwide organization? They're like, this organization has been helping relocate people that were displaced by the blip. So that organization exists. So it's post Endgame, but I don't know.
I feel like were ready for that question, Hector, and they are purposefully misdirecting people,
which is fine.
I mean,
it's totally fine.
Honestly, anytime I hear an answer from a junket like that, I always just take it with a grain of salt at this point, because I'm just saying these people are ready. They've been prepped for these kind of things, so they're not going to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
And it also, true, but it also could be that they don't want to spoil something, because I hadn't seen the whole show yet. We haven't seen the show. And even while watching episode 1, we don't know where Stephen Grant is going to wake up. And we were all figuring it out. And then you guys were like, I bet you it's not even Friday when he goes to the date. And we were right. It was, and we got the confirmation. It's 2 days later. So we know that, that the show takes place at least over 2-ish days.
Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, or a little bit more. So what does that mean for the remainder of the episodes? Is there going to be more sort of time jumps, Memento style with Stephen Grant? I have no idea.
Yeah. And a part of that, and I think that also could potentially have led to sort of not being so, I don't know, locked into a timeline, because I think if the character does jump around in time so much, the moment you start being so concerned with that and you have to put dates on everything, and like just saying 2 to 3 days and just referencing Friday to Sunday, like that's good enough. I think if you're like November 5th and now it's November 7th, and now what day is it now? Is it still November 7th or is it the 11th? It's like, just, it doesn't matter. Like you get too caught up on that, it takes away from the story.
Agreed.
Right.
Just real quick before
that timeline is weird.
Before we wrap out and we get to the next episode, because we got these a little early. We're watching the first 3 tonight. We're doing episodes 1, 2, and 3. What's your guys' initial take on the pilot? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? How, are you ambivalent towards it? Just a quick little review on your part for episode 1.
I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm not 100% on board yet. It will be interesting to go back and watch this episode after it's on Disney Plus, because we are watching like an early release, and some of the visual effects look really dodgy throughout a lot of the chase sequence, like really, really dodgy. I think the ending part where he fights that monster was probably the best part, where he actually turns into Moon Knight. Story-wise, I'm like, I don't really know. I'm not really there yet. I'm intrigued, but I'm not so sucked in like I have been with other MCU shows, where in the first episode I'm like, oh, I'm in this. I'm really in this. I'm not feeling that from this show yet. So we'll see if that changes in episode 2. And I'm actually now more excited to see Marc. Like we've kind of handled Steve for the first episode. I can kind of take a break from that. Let's worry about Marc, and let's kind of start contextualizing the story, because I feel like it just kind of threw you into a world where it's just open threads everywhere. And now I want to start getting a little bit more context, so I start understanding this world a little bit more. So I'm like somewhere in the middle right now.
I'm on board. I think all of this is being done very purposefully. I don't like anything that I'm watching in these shows at this point, given that COVID has happened and given that things have been pushed back, it's also given people a lot of time to go and rework stuff. And given that Kevin Feige has said himself that he's been wanting to make this for such a long time. I'm taking this whole show as a giant misdirect for everything. Like I'm not believing anything that happens at one point whatsoever. But at the same time, that's kind of driving my excitement because we know it's gonna go somewhere. Something's gonna happen to potentially tie it into the bigger universe or set this character up for something super dope after this happens. I'm seeing the potential of this, but it's only episode 1. Let's jump into episode 2, my babies. Let's get going. I'm ready to go.
I think that you guys both have completely valid takes. And I also think it's interesting watching the show for the second time, knowing that like Moon Knight was probably at some point being developed as a film. I don't know if any of that development has survived to this iteration of Moon Knight, but the cool thing is I think the character Moon Knight is absolutely worthy enough to like be the focus of a movie. But I think that with them shifting to Disney Plus and being like, what characters could we do on Disney Plus? She-Hulk and Falcon and Winter Soldier and Loki and all these kind of different, these are not the big sort of A-list characters are getting Disney Plus shows quite yet, but the characters that they are taking advantage of spending more time with. And I think with Moon Knight, it's helpful because it's a trade-off. If this was a movie, this would be way more quicker paced, I think bigger action, bigger set pieces, and we might step away from a 2-hour, 2.5-hour Moon Knight movie and go, it was good, but I wish we spent more time with this, or that kind of thing, because of the dissociative identity disorder that they're playing with. But the trade-off is like, okay, now we're watching it in show format, so we're getting to spend more time with these aspects. Does that mean that we're missing a more quicker paced action event? Like it's a give and take, so knowing that, I think it's interesting watching the show, knowing like this could have worked as a movie, as a 2-hour, 2.5-hour movie, but the fact that we're getting less than 6 hours of this character, this world, I'm settling into it. I'm really enjoying it. It's really, really fun for me because of what I know that I'm bringing from the comics. But episode 1 is not my favorite episode. We haven't gotten to my favorite episode yet.
And I think I think a lot of it is also just kind of like with the tone, right? Like for you guys, the horror elements really work because horror is not something that you're so kind of like primary genre of film that you kind of gravitate towards.
It's light horror in this show.
I take that as an act of disrespect, my friend.
Whereas for me, it's like, that was the thing that excited me about the show because the trailers made it seem like it was very horror-esque, and I know it's only the first episode, but the stuff that they were really trying to make it feel like horror, I was like, this is pretty mild. Pretty mild.
I mean, the horror is mild. Let's put them on blast a little bit too. I mean, we're just learning that they're like editing Falcon and Winter Soldier's violence. Disney Plus, don't do that shit. Don't do that. We have that in the back of our heads as we're trying to watch episode 1 of this cool new edgy show. It undercuts with this show what we think the potential of this could be. Adam, I would not expect this to go into more of a horror direction. It's just it's light horror. I think it's
and that's the thing, because WandaVision, to me, it had moments where it did it really, really well. That horror was really just playing with like camera work. And I think this is trying to play with like a little bit of the more traditional like creep factor. And I think there's like maybe a little bit more subtle way to do it. To me right now, Ethan Hawke is the scariest character. The moments of the gods, like none of that stuff is like, that's fine. But with him, I'm like, oh, the performance, the way he plays it, the line delivery, I'm like, yeah, this is like, I hope he ends up being some nasty, bloody, creepy ass slimy creature that just like drools. Like, I don't know, with that kind of performance, that's what I'm feeling. I'm like, oh, please rip off your skin and turn to something disgusting.
He's not a xenomorph, Adam.
I know, and remember what I just watched all the Evil Dead movies, and remember what Feige said about Doctor Strange. He's like, fans of Evil Dead 2 are going to be really happy, is what he said. So we'll see, man. We'll see. That's I would be putting more of my goo coming out of your mouth eggs
in the
into
Sam Raimi movie.
Probably. The Sam Raimi movie. Not so much the Moon Knight, but maybe that basket. Put your eggs in there.
Well, we'll find out. We have 5 more episodes after this, so we'll find out. But guys, let us know in the comments below what you thought about the first episode of Moon Knight. Make sure you check out the uncut reactions on Patreon, and we'll see you in the next episode.